Are you making these 5 mistakes when saying no? Good morning, world. I am Judy, your web-based therapist, making therapy accessible and convenient for our clients in Florida and New York, and of course, sharing information worldwide. Today, we're talking about 5 things people should avoid when saying no, because these are things that kind of make saying no more difficult and less effective. But before I get into that, I want to take a quick moment and say, if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a part of our awesome world. If you're not yet subscribed, please take a moment and click the subscribe button below so you can join all this awesomeness. And remember to tick the bell so you are notified when I post new videos so you don't miss anything. And of course, if you'd like to purchase 1 or 3 of my books, also a link below that will take you to a site that shows you all your different options for where you could get 1 or 3 of my books. All right, let's get back to it. The first one is being unclear or ambiguous. It's when you say, I would, but, or maybe, when you kind of say no, but don't really say no. Things like, maybe, I don't know, I think I would make, I'm not sure. That ambiguity tells the person that, hey, there's room to convince you. Let me keep pushing. Or when you say, I don't think, all these little things that are not a clear no, give the person the idea that if they keep pushing, there is a possibility that they can get you to say no. So it's better to avoid that ambiguity, avoid those maybes and things like that, and just say no. The second is making excuses to justify your no. We often say that no is a complete sentence. Sometimes the situation does not work for you, whatever the request is doesn't work for you, and you need to say no. It's okay to say no. You don't need to come up with reasons, come up with excuses to justify what you're saying, because sometimes it puts you in an awkward position and it shows the person that you're not quite comfortable with the no that you're saying, which means that, hey, if she's not comfortable with it, maybe there's room for me to push for them to change that no to a yes. But no, you don't have to make up excuses. If you have a reason that you feel that no is the correct response, then yes, you can state that reason. But if you don't have to make excuses to give you a better reason, a better option. No, whatever your reason for saying no is, that is the right reason. That is the valid reason. And other people may not like it, but it is your reason and it's good enough. So if it's no, then it's no. The third thing that people tend to do is delay, avoid, and even ghosting instead of saying no. When you're doing that, you're holding on to that anxiety of, ooh, you still have that weight of this question that you haven't answered, this request that you have not responded to. You still have all that feeling of anxiety or whatever feelings that having to give the person that no. You still have all those weighing on your shoulder, and you have the other person waiting in the wings, waiting to see if you're going to say no. And you're also inviting the potential of the person applying more pressure because they want an answer. So they might come back, they might keep asking. So instead of delaying, avoiding, and even ghosting, just say no. Just, if you know the answer is no, just tell the person, no, this doesn't work for me because XYZ, or just plain, no, this does not work for me. Because delaying does not change the fact that the person is still waiting. Delaying does not change the whatever feelings or anxieties that having to make that answer, give that answer is putting on you. So do yourself and the requester a favor and answer the question as soon as you can. If the answer is no, then it's no. The fourth one is avoid bashing or negging. Sometimes a person can ask you to do something, or a person can invite you to something that just does not work for you. Maybe you're not interested. Maybe this is not the right time. Maybe you can't afford it. Regardless of your reason for saying no, you don't have to put down whatever the other person is doing. You don't have to say a whole bunch of negative things about it. You don't have to bash whatever the other person is doing, because then it's almost like you're trying to make yourself feel better by making the other person feel bad. That does not help. It just creates a negative situation. It creates creates bad vibes between the two people. If the answer is no for you, then the answer is no for you. It does not make whatever the other person is doing, or they're inviting you, or whatever that request is, it does not necessarily make it bad. It just makes it not the right one for you. You can say no, but you don't have to downplay, you don't have to bash, you don't have to say negative things about whatever the request is, whatever the other person is doing. It's okay to just say no and just leave it there. You don't have to make it a bad thing. Finally, avoid lying. It's the worst, because more often than not, when we lie, eventually we get caught, and it feels even more awkward between you and the other person, and it puts you in a bad light. Don't lie. It's okay to say no. If the answer is no, just say no. No, I don't want to. No, I am unable to. No, or no. Don't lie. Because lying kind of gives the idea that, okay, maybe you are interested, but there's something else that could be said that could convince you otherwise. Or lying means that you don't respect or value the person enough to just tell them the truth. Just speak, whatever it is, whatever the truth is. Sometimes the truth may feel like it's not the correct answer at the moment, but at the end of the day, truth usually ends up being the best response. Don't lie. It makes you, when you're lying, you look awkward, you sound awkward, you feel awkward, and it kind of gives the person the idea that, maybe there's room to get them to change their mind. But more importantly, lying puts you in it's bad karma. Don't lie, just don't lie. Tell the truth. If the answer is no, it's no. Say no. And if you have a reason that you are willing to share, yes, just share that reason. If you don't have a reason that you're really willing to share, don't. But whatever you do, avoid lying. It's not cool. Okay, so let's do a quick recap. Avoid being ambiguous or unclear, because it tells the person that, hey, there's room to push and possibly convince you to change your mind. Avoid making excuses to justify your no, because when you're making excuses, it makes you sound unsure, and it creates an opportunity, or it tells the person there's a chance that if they push harder, you might say yes. Avoid delaying, avoiding, or ghosting the decision, because it keeps the person in that waiting and hoping that you will say yes, and it also keeps you in that anxious feeling of having the weight of, I have this no I need to say. So say it right when you get the answer. That way you can both be in the clear. Avoid negging or bashing whatever the request is, because just because it's not right for you does not make it a bad thing. It could just be that, you know what, this is just not the thing for you at the moment, or for you ever. But it's not the thing for you. It's not the thing for you. You don't have to make the other person feel bad about it. And of course, avoid lying. It's not cool, it's not right. It puts you in a bad place, it puts the other person in a bad situation, and then eventually lies get found out anyway, and you kind of look bad. As always, if you or someone you know happens to be going through something that's more than you can handle, please remember that there are professionals like myself who are available, able, and willing to help, and are even providing remote services who can assist with whatever you may have going on. So please figure out who those people are in your community, so that if you need to, you can reach out and get the help that you need. And that is all we have for today. Good morning, world. Have an awesome day.